Hi. Good evening and welcome to this week's episode of Sports Desk.
Sports Desk.
Coming to you live
from the penthouse.
We are super excited to have you guys watching this show because it boosts our self-esteem. And we have a special someone with us today. Smooth as silky, Caleb Milkey is joining us for this week's episode. Caleb, welcome to Sports Desk.
Howdy.
Caleb, it's a pleasure to have you on this week's show, and we're looking forward to hearing what you have to say in the world of sports. WLC is, there's a lot going on in our world of sports.
Yeah, we've got like 12 sports going on at one time right now, and this weekend was definitely chaotic as far as like sports that have been played went. Because we had football, we had basketball, we had soccer. Soccer had a few games, softball had a few games. Mm-hmm. Track had a meet recently, and cross is having meets like every other weekend so that they don't overlap with track meets. I think golf is looking to get out there pretty soon here too.
We'll see if they have a coach.
Yeah, here he's on the hot seat per usual. But yeah, Caleb, have you made it to any of the WLC sanctioned games at all?
I haven't been able to this year. I did see the first 5 minutes of one of the guys' volleyball games.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was electric.
Yes, it was a great atmosphere. The football team, they just played.
Yeah.
All-star right here.
They won, so that's pretty snazzy. Football team played this weekend, this Saturday at 1 p.m. against Rockford, and that was I want to say it was like 21 to 7 before we decided to put like our second string in, and they did not score until the second half, so they were shut out for the first 3 quarters of the action, which was like phenomenal. Wow. I don't think our defense has done that in a long time. So that was like super cool to see. It was super nice to see like the offense being as dominant as they were. Like we were pretty much in control of that game from start to finish. Nick Yaki threw for 390 yards. I think he attempted like 50 pass attempts or something like that.
Well,
I'm not there.
Interesting.
Attempted like something like 50 passes for a completion percentage of like 68% or something like that, which is pretty good for college. He had 1 rushing touchdown, 3 passing touchdowns. Jordan Jewell led in receptions and also yards. Corey Diedrich not far behind, both of them breaking the 100-yard mark in receiving yards, which is pretty crazy. Mm-hmm. Defense, as I mentioned before, did well. Forced 1 turnover. Michael Ignazik led the team in tackles, followed by Ty Castillo. So it was overall like a well-rounded game. I know it was tough coming from not having played in like 500 days or something like that, which is pretty crazy. But it was fun to be out there. Yeah, and it was a good atmosphere. A great crowd. It was a senior night too, so like my parents showed up to watch the game and whatnot, and then lots of like it was just a little thank you to all the seniors and whatnot. And we like definitely started the season off on a high note. This Saturday, we will be playing against our crosstown rivals, Concordia University, Wisconsin.
Let's get it.
That game should be pretty electric.
Yeah.
We played for the Lutheran Cup, too, so there's a traveling trophy that gets tossed between the 2 teams. The last 2 years, CU Dub has had it from us, so I think it's about time we got that thing back in our hands. So
absolutely.
We'll see.
Hey,
it's exciting. We're looking forward to it.
Can't forget Skylar punted on Saturday, had an absolute monster of a punt. I think, 45 yards?
Yeah, it was 45 yards, and it was, like, out of the back of my end zone. So it was, like...
Even better.
My heels were on the boundary there, and it was a little bit nerve-wracking because I was, like, telling myself before the game, I was like, if I get backed up against the goal line and have to punt,
I want to take a safety there.
Exactly. Like, there's so much that can go wrong, and, like, you take the safety, they get the ball back, too, after that, and it's... Wouldn't have been a good situation, but to my surprise, they didn't even make any pressure, which I was not complaining, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Got off a good punt. I had a little bit of wind in my back, but it sailed end over end. It was a pretty decent looking punt.
Yeah. And you had an amazing tackle too. That was pretty hype. At corner?
Yeah,
Nice tackle.
I got it for a few series at corner in the third and fourth quarter, and then came away with one pretty decent tackle. And the guy's like, "Dude, good hit, man." And I was like, "I just wish you didn't catch the ball."
Yeah, if you were any good, he wouldn't have caught it.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
Yeah, come on, Sky.
Yeah.
I was playing soft coverage. Not gonna lie, I was cover 3 on. He ran a hitch route, so those are the kinds of throws that we're giving up in that kind of coverage. But it is what it is.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Big game this weekend against UW. Hopefully we can get the dub from them and reclaim that Lutheran Cup for sure. Caleb, you are a Packers fan, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Correct.
All right, so the free agency in the NFL has been going around for about a week now, and I haven't seen the Packers make a ton of moves. What are your thoughts on their lack of free agency? I guess, like, they're not signing anyone. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think they're going to build most of their roster through the draft? Do they need to make some trades? What are your thoughts on the offseason for them?
I feel like they've actually made quite a few moves, from what I understand. They re-signed Aaron Jones a couple weeks ago, so that was a huge deal that I wasn't expecting. Especially for that long of a, what was it, 4-year deal, I think?
Yeah, 4 for $48. It's like Wendy's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's their new product.
Have they signed anyone like an outside free agent though?
I know they missed out on
Fuller, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Although one move I do know that I'm a little sketchy about, they re-signed King.
Yes, I saw that too.
Really?
Yeah, they signed him to a 1-year extension.
Ooh.
Or 1-year contract. I don't remember if it was an extension or not.
I know a lot of fans were clamoring for him to get.
Yeah, after that poor performance in the playoffs, he got burned.
Yeah.
Not once, not twice, but thrice.
Definitely a surprise to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Caleb, looks like you're a little frozen there on the screen. But I think maybe you can still hear him fine.
Can hear your audio.
Yeah. And maybe
Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, at least it froze.
Kind of a dork.
Oh, now you're back. Now you're back. Carson says, "Yay, Skyler." Scott says, "Hola, darling and late." Hey, better late than never, though, Scott.
True that.
Yeah. So, Caleb, are there any remaining free agents that you want the Packers to go after, that you really think will help bolster their team for next season?
I feel most of what to be focusing on the offensive side, on the D line, secondary, basically anything in those areas, and bolstering offensive line, getting a good center, because losing Lindsey is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Losing Corey Linsley that could be really bad. So hopefully we can patch that up well.
Yeah, I know he signed with the Chargers, and he was a solid starter for you guys for a while. So
one of the top centers in the league.
Yeah, I mean, it helps the Vikings.
True,
but
well, of course, yeah.
Yeah, and that's obviously what matters.
One person in the room at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Who do you think's gonna sign Fuller?
Someone did.
Kyle.
Oh, Kyle Fuller. Someone did.
They already did.
Someone signed Kyle Fuller.
Do you know who?
I want to say. This is why Scott, can you see who signed Kyle Fuller? Because I'm like 98% sure he signed with someone.
I didn't think he did just yet.
Kyle Fuller signs with Denver.
Oh, okay.
Okay, wow.
And then Philip Lindsay went from Denver. Did he go to Raiders? Or was it Houston?
I want to say Houston, but I don't know. This is
why we got to write this stuff down.
This is our first episode going off the cuff, and I will say the quality of content has dropped dramatically.
We suck.
We are not good.
We're all over the board.
Caleb, you're going to have to carry us.
Caleb.
See, he's able to look it up right there.
Take me in your arms.
I just says Texas.
What?
Scott says standby. Sorry, Scott, we already got the information. But be at the ready for other questions that we'll have.
True.
Now, men's volleyball at WLC, still looking for that first win, plays tomorrow against a team from California, UC Santa Cruz Banana Slugs. This team.
That's their name?
Yes. No lie, dude.
Banana Slugs?
That's conference. Sick. Their conference in California doesn't let them play. So they're doing like a Midwestern tour, from what I understand. So they're coming here, and they play second in Division III in the entire country 2 years ago. So it's going to be quite the upset for us. I'm trying to be positive.
True.
Hey, you never know. As we've seen with March Madness, you never know.
Oh, that's a great segue.
Yeah, there you go.
If you do March Madness, you are probably screwed at this point.
Oral Rob hurts.
Oral Rob hurts. Exactly. My goodness, Caleb, let's just cut right down to it. Are your brackets busted?
Not horribly busted.
Interesting.
I mean, I probably have at least half my Elite Eight gone in most. But
okay.
I've only had one bracket where my winner's gone. So,
that's not bad.
Yeah, that is not bad.
And
yeah,
how many did you fill out?
I filled out 5 in total.
Okay.
I think 2 of them I picked Baylor. One I picked Illinois. One Gonzaga. I think I actually did 3 for Baylor. So.
Okay.
Not definitely any crazy picks.
Yeah. I too was favoring Baylor in a couple of my brackets. I mean, I only filled out 2, but I felt most sold on Baylor. They seem to be the most convincing to me, Baylor and Zaga. So
yeah,
that's kind of my pick. And like I was telling Jake last week, I don't know if anybody else remembers, but like my strategy for picking was always like how they did against top 25 teams, and that's kind of how I based a lot of my picks off of, and that strategy got me nowhere this year. And I think a lot of that is in part to the shorter season, the COVID cases and everything beforehand leading up to each game, and different things like that. Like there's a lot of factors that kind of played into that. But this year is definitely like the definition of March Madness. Oh,
absolutely. There was a lot of skepticism, I think, people wanting to pick Gonzaga because although they were 26-0, I think there were doubts. You know, no team has ever had a perfect season, and the conference they play in is not, the most elite. So I think people were maybe skeptical, but Gonzaga has looked all the part of an undefeated team in the tournament. They've been dismantling their opponents, all 2 of them.
That is true. And back to like your conference strength comment. If you look at the Summit League where Oral Roberts is from, that is not the strongest conference either, and they're just killing teams that no one would have ever thought that they would even compete with.
The thing about Oral Roberts is I don't even know if you can say they've been getting lucky because they beat Ohio State by 3, and who did they just play to go to the Sweet 16? But they beat that team by 3 as well, so they've proven they can win the close game. So I personally think they have the potential to go further. I don't know if it's just a fluke. They have the nation's leading scorer on their team, actually. Max Asmus, I believe. Yeah, he averaged 24 points a game this season. So they've got the talent, but they only have 3,500 students. Like, they're not much bigger than us. And here they are making noise in March Madness. It's pretty crazy. But Caleb, is there a team remaining in the bracket that you're kind of pulling for now, regardless of how you picked for your bracket?
I've been really surprised to see how well Loyola's doing. I remember they had such a huge Cinderella story a couple of years ago when they were a 15 seed and they went to the Final Four. Like I think it'd be cool to see them make another run as a 8 seed. I think they are.
Yep, and they just beat Illinois, and yeah, all thanks to Sister Jean.
Sister Jean, yes.
She gives the best prayers before a game. Those pregame prayers be hitting
different. Well, the crazy thing about this year is 7 of the 16 teams in the tournament left are 6 seeds or higher. So it's a great tournament if you like the upset, if you like the Cinderella story. It's not a matter of this year if there's a Cinderella story, it's a matter of which one do you want to cheer for, because there's multiple. So it's a great tournament. It would have been better if the Gophers were in it, but I'm over that. I'm glad Wisconsin's out. Otherwise, I'm at peace with the whole thing.
take a look at all of the Big Ten teams that were actually in the tournament, and how Minnesota was
lot.
not one of them.
Yeah.
And how all the Big Ten teams choked.
Mm-hmm.
Big time.
Michigan's the only one left, I think.
Michigan's left.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else is.
No, because Iowa just lost and Illinois lost to Loyola. So
Did Michigan State lose in the play-in game?
they did to UCLA. So
Right.
and Maryland just lost to Bama bad. And yeah. I don't even know what other teams there are. Wisconsin lost to Baylor. But yeah. Yeah, it's just the Big Ten has not looked good. Purdue lost, I know. They lost in the first round to North Texas. So yeah, it's a tough year for the Big Ten, but I mean, that's the beautiful thing about March Madness. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know.
Yeah. Everyone feels like Vikings fans then.
Yeah. Man. What some teams, fans are feeling right now is what we feel on a daily basis. So, welcome to our world. Disappointment, burnout, and sadness. Carson says Big Ten always chokes. Teresa says hashtag Team Caleb. Claire says hashtag RA Gang. That's true. We are all RAs.
That's right.
Yeah.
We do it. Correct on the law.
Indeed.
Yeah. But March Madness, it's crazy this year. But you know what else is starting up is Major League Baseball starting up
Heck yeah.
next Thursday is opening day. Caleb, I know you're a big Brewers guy. In fact, I believe you're wearing a Brewers quarter zip, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, you got the Brewers pennant up there. Okay.
Yeah, two. I don't know how I'm doing this.
There you
I got
go.
two.
There you go, man. Yeah, it's so. Actually, it's funny. Twins fan, Brewers fan, they play each other next Thursday at Miller Park. Caleb, I know you're a big baseball guy. I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on how you think the Brewers will do this season, what they've done well in the offseason to prepare for this one. How do you think they'll fare in their division? Just really anything.
Well, first off, Jake, it is no longer Miller Park. Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Barry.
my bad. I'm sorry. Hope I didn't trigger
American
anyone.
Family Field.
Okay.
No.
It's
I-
way less cool.
It doesn't trigger me at all. Don't
Okay. I'm sorry.
How do you feel about the name switch? Sorry.
No, that's a good question, though.
It's a name.
Yeah.
Miller Park fits Milwaukee really well, but
And the team of the Brewers.
Yes.
the Brewers, yeah, that makes sense. But to be honest, it's just a bidding match. That's all it is, and Miller didn't want to pay for it, and that was their choice. So it doesn't bother me too much. I'm not like boycotting the team or going to games or anything. I haven't gone to a game.
Fan.
I'll pass on that. At least the Brewers have had a playoff win in our lifetimes.
Man, you just keep kicking me while I'm down. But you're right. I can't. Yeah, I got nothing against the Brewers, but
Yeah, I don't really have anything against the Twins either. I think they're
we're
a
not
fun
in the
team to
same-
watch.
yeah, we're not in the same division, so there's no beef.
We're rivals, but
Yeah,
I mean different conferences, so it doesn't really mean much. But
I know there were a lot of fans who were upset about the Miller Park name change to AmFam Field. Oh,
I feel like most of the people that were probably aren't that much of baseball fans, in my opinion. They just
Probably.
like going to games. That's kind of the feeling I get. But anyway, to answer your initial question,
Sorry.
no, you're fine. That was a good question to follow up with.
what was?
No, I think the Brewers are flying pretty under the radar once again for like the fourth year straight. Their pitching has usually been their downfall, but this year, you got Woodruff who's dealing, Corbin Burns, another potential ace. Adrian Hauser could be good. And that's not even talking about bullpen. We still got Josh Hader. We got reigning reliever of the year and rookie of the year, Devin Williams, who's also good.
Yeah, he's really good.
You got that, and then the offensive side. I mean, it feels like we're just like it doesn't really seem like we added that much, but if you think about it, we did. Because Lorenzo last year, he opted out. and so he's a huge offensive piece we didn't have last year. We add Jackie Bradley Jr. just recently. He could be some. Yelich is gonna bounce back. He too. I've been seeing the way he's raking at spring training, and he's gonna kill it. He's gonna be right up all the other MVP candidates for sure. Hero will have a good year, I'm sure. So there's a lot of optimism for the Brewers at least this year.
Now, is Ryan Braun still on the team? I know he's played for the Brewers since I think 2007. Is he still playing?
Not signed by anybody. The thing I've been hearing is that he's probably just going to retire. He's probably going to call it a career. I'd like to see Brewers pick him up a really cheap deal just as a bench player, but it might happen. I'm not optimistic, but it will definitely be weird not seeing him on the field. He's been on the field since I watched the team.
Yeah, he's been such a stalwart on the team for 13 or so years. So when you lose a player of that caliber, it's an adjustment to the team for sure. But yeah, you mentioned a lot of good pieces about their pitching, and but they're in a tough division. Having to face the Cardinals as well. Do you think the Brewers could win the division this year, or do you think maybe second place, a wild card spot, is more realistic of an expectation?
I'm coming at this as a Brewers fan, but I feel like the Cardinals are a little overrated. I just added Arenado, which is the biggest offseason of the year, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the Brewers definitely have a shot at the division this year. But I think the Cardinals will probably be the biggest competition. The Cubs will be in there too. I can't really get a good read on the Cubs. I don't really know what they're doing because they didn't sign like anybody. They signed, I think, Jack Peterson, and that's like it. So not really any major moves.
Interesting.
The Reds, I'm not sure the Reds will do too well. They did really well last year because of having Trevor Bauer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have him anymore. He's with the Dodgers. And then we don't need to talk about the Pirates.
Yeah, the Pirates aren't that good. Pirates suck. Yeah, I
They're-
think
They will exist.
because you mentioned Arenado, and I just want to point out last year, for those of you who don't know, he played for the Colorado Rockies, and my good friend Carson wanted to point out in the comments section that the Rockies beat the Brewers today, even though Christian Yelich had a grand slam. #flex. So,
I did see that.
Caleb, I don't know if the things you're saying are really being backed up here by the performance.
I think the person who gave up all those runs, I think it was Hauser that gave up a lot of those runs. So
hey, but everyone has bad days. Everyone
has bad
mistakes.
days. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hauser's kind of one of those players that I'm iffy on. He could be good, but he could also just fall flat. Like, you can't really tell at this point. But
yeah,
he hasn't been performing too well in spring training, but he'll have a spot on the roster and get starts for sure.
Nice. Yeah, I think the Twins maybe could win the division, but the Chicago White Sox pretty strong this year. So we'll have to see. But Caleb, I wanted to ask you, have you ever played, did you play baseball growing up? And is baseball your favorite sport, or which one is it if it's not baseball?
Baseball's definitely my favorite sport, but I hardly played it. I played Little League up until I think third grade, and then for a few years I just kind of fell out of it.
Okay.
And then by the time I really got back into it, I had not touched a bat in 4 or 5 years, so there wasn't really. I couldn't really get back into it. I wanted to, but I just didn't have the talent or the ability to. But I've definitely been huge into baseball, like in the last probably 10 years. Definitely been my favorite sport for sure. Not even a question.
Yeah, I always laugh at those people that say baseball's boring. They just don't understand.
I never had the opportunity to play baseball, so
I'm talking about you.
I know. The next best thing that like I have to compare it to would probably be like
Cricket.
slow pitch softball. Which I completely understand that they are two very different like ball games. But like the gist of everything is pretty similar in a sense. And I thoroughly enjoy like playing, but like sitting back and watching on TV is something that I cannot like bring myself to do. It's like I also cannot bring myself to watch a soccer game on TV just because I just don't feel like it's enough for me. But like going to like baseball games in person is something that I can do like all day, every day. Like they're just a fun atmosphere all around to be in. And like I think seeing a soccer game in person would be like phenomenal too, because I mean, those are also super crazy atmospheres and always like a good, like there's constantly something happening in the crowd and whatnot. So
Gotta press that button there.
oh yes.
Jonathan says, "What's up, brothers?" And Claire Schlag says, "Everybody makes mistakes. ... Everybody has those days."
Except for me.
So, she.
I got that reference.
Yeah. Okay, I appreciate that. Speaking of soccer, WLC soccer played. Was it Sunday? And our good friend Luke got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, they played Lakeland.
By a Lakeland defender,
Oh, no.
and yeah, he has concussion,
Whiplash, a concussion.
sprained neck. He's
Oh,
okay.
man.
Like he'll be okay, but he's gonna be a future guest probably, but we're gonna have to give him a little bit to recover. I don't know if he can look at the screen, but I would like to go out and watch one of our soccer games at some point this year because, well, like you said, it's a fun game to watch in person, but on TV, no puedo hacerlo. I can't do it.
I could watch all 162 games on TV. Honestly, if I had the time to, I totally would.
I know if I didn't have any responsibilities, I'd rather be in person. But yes, TV would be fantastic. Are you going to try and go to a game this season at American Family Field? Because I'm not.
There you
say
go.
that wrong. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, absolutely. They're selling single game tickets starting on Friday, and I'm hopping on it right away.
Are you going to try and go to opening day?
I won't be able to go to opening day because I'll be heading home that day. But I would have loved to. But I mean, those tickets are probably already sold out anyway, just with people
That's true.
who are season ticket holders. I mean, after losing out on the whole year, I'm sure they'd want to be there right away.
Yeah. Oops, I'm sorry. Yeah, I would love to go to a Twins game this year. We'll see. They only allowed 10,000 fans, which
Only
is
10,000.
There's about, well, it can hold 40, so this is 40 people. So it's like 25% capacity. I think that's kind of standard for some stadiums. I'm sure more, like other places, a lot more, maybe in the South.
I heard Globe Life Field where the Rangers are playing. They're having 100% capacity, which is baffling to me. Like that's just crazy.
That'd be awesome. That'd be so awesome. Teresa says, we going April 17th, hashtag Go Brewers. So I don't know if you're going with her or if she means like we as in her fam. Okay.
Yep, that's the day we're hoping to go.
Okay, that's Caleb's fiance for all those you who don't know. It's not just a random YouTuber who yeah.
I'm just picking up some random YouTuber. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's
No judgment.
yeah, no, hey, do what you gotta do, man. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a fun season. It's gonna be a full 162 game season. Looking forward to seeing which teams can maybe run away with their division. I know last year was a shorter year, so you can't really get the full effect of a full season where some teams hit their stride in maybe August or, like at a later point in the season. You just don't get that when the season is 60 games instead of 162. So should be fun to get back to that little bit of normalcy this year in baseball. March Madness continues this weekend. We got the Sweet 16 games coming up. Football plays this Saturday at CU Dub. Volleyball plays on Thursday. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. Baseball and softball continue their games as well. You said track, cross country, women's volleyball too. They're doing well. So yeah, Caleb, thank you so much. That's all the time we have for tonight. But man, it was so great to have you on. And we appreciate all your feedback and information, man.
We love you.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
Love us.
Say it back.
Love you too, guys.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So
you love to hear it.
Caleb, we will see you later. And Skylar, you know what to do. Send
Sports Desk. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on Sports Desk. Have a good night, y'all.